Make things
No, but I mean,
symmetrical
all
or
right. So
else.
what? Like, Jimbo, you op eggplant. What? So it got bugged or something happened to the map file that we had on the
Mhm.
server, and then so you remade it.
I did just decide to remake it from scratch.
Tell us about it, man.
It was fun, actually. Sort of like 24 hours from start to finish.
There is a little. It's all. Yeah, I enjoy a project when, especially when you're capable and you've done like something long enough where you're like, oh, I could do this in a day, and then you actually do it in a day from start to finish, and you're like super stoked on like what the outcome was.
It's a map
Yeah,
jam, like a game jam.
A map jam. That'd be fun actually. Do a little map jam.
that's actually a really good idea. Like, don't worry about detailing stuff, but just like, map jam.
Oh, map jam.
Because people only have to make like half a map anyway, or a quarter of a map anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's you just the main focus is like it's released in 24 hours, ready, set, go, and you just got to get
Yeah.
done what you can get done. If you want to spend 10 hours on detailing, go for it. If not, spend your time doing other things and see what comes of it.
Real test of a
What are
mapping
typically
ability.
like the? I guess if we're gonna narrow it down to like an op map jam, would there be? Could we incorporate a theme to it, or would that be too constricting to the creators?
No,
Um,
no, no. I mean, no, as in like it's not constricting. I think a theme is an excellent idea to give people guidance on what to build.
yeah, no, from a creative standpoint, saying make anything you want can be the hardest thing to do.
I don't even know where to start. What type of
Honestly,
map should
yeah.
I make?
Like in art college, all the briefs where it's like do this really specific thing and like, yeah, we could do this. And it's like the last brief. Make whatever you want, and everyone's there for like 4 months being like, what do I do? What I haven't even started yet, and everyone's just freaking out.
All right, so what are some themes we could give the op map jam? I think I don't know. For whatever reason islands is the first thing that popped into my mind. So like
I like
jumping
it.
like just kind of island theme and like that's it. Like I just like the cuz CS2 the water looks so nice and seeing some kind of island theme. They might just take it as an island op map but like jumping from island to island or do the doodle bop little shooter or yeet little shooter thing where they go whoop and it shoots them to a different island. It could be fun. See what the interpretation of a island map jam would be.
Who would even? Okay, before I even go to the who, I like the seasonal idea we were trying to do before. Um, I love that island idea. I'm also like I guess the poop deck is kind of like an island one. It's just in the middle of the
True.
ocean though. Um, I also think of Op Natural. That is an island. So like if
True.
people wanted
Yeah, the
inspiration, that'd be a
vibes,
cool one.
bro. There's something about when there's like water around a map and you can like go into it a little bit, like I don't know, it makes you feel some type of way.
But we have to think about, well, do you want a theme which could be taken in both a gameplay and aesthetic reasoning?
Well,
Or
that's why we just leave it at island, right? Because
yeah.
you could introduce island into gameplay. You can also introduce it into aesthetics. What you could do sound design of an island, like I'm gonna make an island map. You just load to it. It's a blank screen and it's just black and there's just island noises. And then they win the contest because it was just so well executed. It's just the most beautiful island noises you've ever heard in your life.
Means you've got to make a prize if there's a
And
winner.
then, honestly, I could have saved this for the map jam to reveal, but I'm gonna win because I'm gonna introduce SpongeBob.
So you're gonna say
Oh
because you're
my
the judge.
goodness.
It's gonna be.
Like SpongeBob Islands make no sense though,
I don't.
because they're underwater.
It's tropical though, so it works.
Like I guess like the only island in SpongeBob is whenever they're showing like above, like they have like the
Oh, that's
typical
right.
cutscene of the
Yeah,
single
yeah, the
island with
island at
two
the
palm
top.
trees. I
Yeah,
think.
and then the camera goes underwater.
Yeah,
Who lives
yeah.
in a pineapple under the sea?
So I just when like we have tried to encourage people to map in the past. I don't
Yeah.
know It's very hard to
How many pizzas do we
get
give to the
people.
winner?
True.
So
Like, I mean, money is the biggest incentive. Money and clout, right? Because I mean, like, so the map core contest happening right now. I guess the general CS population has no idea it's happening. But like, they just got like over 200 maps submitted to their contest. Because it's barely a money thing, because you have to work on a map for an entire year to win. If you win the contest out of over 200 maps submitted, you work an entire year. If you're a solo developer, which no map that is ever published into a game is developed by one person, is typically 3.
Maps haven't been made by one person since like 2014.
Yeah, so then you gotta split the prize, but then it's $7,000 for like a year's worth of work. It's bullshit money.
Yeah, but it's not. The thing is, people know it's not about the actual prize money. It's the fact that every other map contest winner has got in to get in the game,
Right.
which is Valve money now.
Which is Valve money, but that's why I said clout. It's either money or clout, right? So
yes,
it's like
the implication that you will potentially get in the game.
yup, that's the clout. So, we our clout is what? That you get into the Gloveworks server, and then I guess the pizzas is the money part. I think the hard part of getting people to participate in CS:GO because yeah, Justin, we tried to get people involved into map making to like make some op maps when we had the CS:GO servers, but like I don't know, we just didn't really see that big of a response. And we saw one of the unexpected obstacles was that you had to pay. CS:GO was a free game, but you had to pay for like Prime or something, like $15, I think.
Yeah. I forgot about that. I wonder, is that still how it is now, or
I have no idea. I
don't know anyone
I don't think
that
so.
doesn't have Prime.
But like, it was so
lot
that's
of
what
people
we
have
thought.
it.
That's what we thought too. I don't know. I just remember trying to get people to map, and they'd be like, "Oh well, I have to pay to get access to the SDK tools." And they're like, I can't do it, like, because it's $15, and we're like, well, shit, like we didn't even think about this. I don't think they do it. I guess someone Google that right now and see what's going on. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna be there. So cross fingers that that's there. The tool is just less the hammer editor tool that we use to make maps. It's not as intimidating now, I feel, at least. Like to become an expert in the application is very difficult now, I feel, because there's just so much information to learn. But
I don't know. I think that this hammer has a much higher learning curve.
yeah.
Like to come in from nothing, or from even if it's from the old editor in particular, to come in from that and then to use it is like a different world.
I think the
But you
easiest
could-
thing we might be able to do is to create a template that they can load up that has a few blocks that they can resize. And
I don't like it. I mean, but that's why I'm trying to ask, like, who is this competition like for? Like, who are we trying to get to participate?
anyone that I've had a lot of people since new CS2 kind of talked to
all
me.
the
Dude,
people that play an AWP map and complain about the smallest, crappiest things.
Right, but like those people, like anyone who complains about a game is not going to become a game designer, game developer.
Well, they might if there's Peach on the line.
What does peach on the line mean? That's just
pizza.
Pizza.
He has an
Pizza.
accent, Justin.
Oh,
I know you're not.
Pizza and peach sound okay because you said peach on the line, and I guess it combined pizza and on combined into pizza. So I heard peach on the line. So I don't like so much. So like the only person we got to do mapping was Chewy. I think. I don't think there was anyone else.
I think you're right.
And Chewy's just on another level.
He's just a creator. He's just the man. Oh, and then Chewy also recently made the Gloveworks leaderboard. So now you can go to mygloveworks.com leaderboard, or just go to the website and click on leaderboard. And then we now have a leaderboard where it shows all the top players and all their points and ranks right on the website, and it looks super freaking cool. So go check it out, mygloveworks.com/leaderboard. Also, I guess we never actually introduced Cyan Jimbo here. He is a Counter-Strike mapper, and he's been helping recreate a lot of the old op maps that we see in CSGO and bringing them to CS2. Even the so Op Creek, the one that you see on the screen right now,
That's the first one.
that's the first one he brought over. So that's Mr. Jimbo's remaster. Then the second one you brought over was Op Gulag, I believe.
Doodlebop.
Doodlebop. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Doodlebop was an exercise in texture upscaling.
That's right. Yeah. So Doodlebop. So yeah, Jimbo took all the textures from the old CS:GO Doodlebop and then upscaled them using AI.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone noticed.
In fairness, it's like not a very.
It's really
like,
subtle.
complex.
They're also all PBL materials.
What does that mean?
So they have roughness maps and bump maps and.
What
So they did not have
does
that before,
that
and
mean to the non-technical people?
To a non-technical person, Justin might have to help me out.
I got this. It's just it adds like when light shines on a flat texture, a bump map will change how the lighting shows to make it like fake as if there's height. Like so there'll be shadows on the texture to show like, oh, there's a bump here. That's pretty much it. There's also like shininess and
the roughness maps what make things shiny or dull.
So when you say
when
you say a bump map and a rough map, is this like a layer that it puts on top of an image, like a texture?
Sounds right to me.
Yeah, it's like an additional texture, but it's a roughness map is just grayscale, so it just takes the grayscale information and projects, as Justin said, shadows, like fake shadows onto textures. And then the roughness is grayscale, which makes things either shiny or rough, and will take reflections from cube maps, which are like little.
So what effects did you use on the Doodlebop textures then?
I basically made all of the paper was dull and had very small normal maps to make them look a bit like creased, to show the creases, and then I made it look like the pencil marks had been indented and that the graphite was shiny on the paper.
Oh, it's
a very subtle effect. Because you can take that just to make it so obvious that it looks bad.
Nice.
I know what you mean, and I will appreciate it next time I hop into Doodlebop for about like 2 seconds before I close, because I really don't enjoy playing that map at all. But
I started making Milky Way, which, Justin, is that your map, or did you just remake it back in the day?
Okay, I will give a quick summary of Milky Way and how it came to be. There was a map, I believe it was Op RP94 or no, Op HR. RP94 is something else. It was just Op HR.
Wasn't it? Okay, either way. Go ahead.
Oh, when you said RP94 is another map I've ported.
That's yours. That's yours. Yeah. I just forgot. I knew it was some letters.
Right.
So Op HR is the original Milky Way. It has like the same textures, same skybox, same like color scheme and everything. Just it's like rotated. There's a tower in the middle. There's the underground is a little different. So I just took that map. I loved the aesthetic. So I thought, okay, I really want this on the server. It doesn't currently play like to the standards we want. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna play with it and see what I can do. So and then I cooked up what Milky Way was in CS:GO. Some people loved it, some people didn't. I I don't like it too much because it doesn't have long range fights. It's like awkward long range fights. Like the side fights are very one dimensional. You can't
Not
realistically
anymore.
push. Right, exactly. So Magic adapted the map in CS2 and made the side fights more flexible by adding the two rooms on the side, the two huts.
Rooms. Yeah, rooms.
So I love the changes Magic made to the map, and I haven't gotten a chance to play it too much because the server hasn't been as active, but I will have that
Dude, you
chance
just
miss
haven't
out.
been
at some
on. I
point.
played Milky Way a bunch.
Yeah, I must have missed it.
But
So,
because
yeah,
I
Milky Way is
started
fun.
remaking that map,
Oh,
and I was gonna go crazy with it, and for one reason or another, I didn't. But I just gave Magic the newly meshed map, and then he.
yeah, you remeshed it, and then we were going through the textures, and you were like trying to like, I think, yeah, you were gonna start going crazy, and you're like starting to change the initial texture, like the base texture, like that's used on the floor and on the walls.
One texture.
Yeah, because it's like one texture is like is like 80% of that map. And you were trying to go through them, and then like every time you were streaming to me on Discord, you're like, okay, just going through the textures, and every texture you choose like just made the map feel just so much different. And I'm like, dude, look, let's just put the old one on, and we put the old one on, and it still looked good. And luckily, the old one was like updated a little bit by Valve because it's just a Valve texture.
Yeah.
And it's Valve did update it, so it does have like an updated feel, but it has like roots in it where you can still feel like the old map is like still there. So I think it's a good middle ground. And then I just went to work on the fight design. I thought the outside lanes of the map on the left and the right, there could just be a little bit more play there. So I gave him a little pocket to hide in by the rooms, by the door. You can camp there, but also it's not completely safe. There's a nice level of anxiety now on the sides, having the glass windows to shoot through. I love shooting through like glass fights because in order to get the kill, it has to be a headshot. So you can just dodge headshots, but when you get the headshot through the glass, it's like, yeah, I'm the man. I landed a nice shot. So I think it's fun. And if you're low HP, they can just shoot you in the body and kill you. I enjoy the fight a lot.
I miss that aspect so much from Upfast 2. I love that was my favorite map. For like my favorite. That was my favorite like bad map. Like
Oh,
that whole
the headshot fight from
the
the
headshot fight.
Yeah, behind a box.
All I did on Upfast 2 was go underground and just like abuse the boxes and shoot people's heads. And that feeling you just described through the glass, it's the same thing on that map because you can only shoot the heads. That map was so fun.
I want to retry that map and see how the people respond, what the meta might be, because I don't know what people like in a map changes like year to year. I think that there might be opportunity to bring it back.
It's tricky. I understand why people don't like it. It's hard to hit headshots, so the way it ends up playing out is people just push and go for the close range like fight, which honestly people like doing anyway, but I guess it's just not too interesting when it's like if everyone's just pushing and there's just boxes around. I guess it's too like it would feel too one-dimensional, I guess, compared to like the pushing on Asylum. It's just different. I don't know how to explain that.
No, I mean I understand. And yeah, when you're just forcing people into headshot fights, it's just not a fun experience for someone who's pretty casual about the game, and they just go underground and they just get killed the entire time. Yeah, it's not a very noob friendly map. You're not really having a jolly good time at most points of that map if you're not like skilled. So it is, yeah, it's funny when we're making the maps. We just got to keep in mind that, you know, we got to appease the noobs while also give, you know, fun fights and fun geometry to play around for the skilled players. So let's I completely spaced about redoing Milky Way. So yeah, Jimbo, we worked on it was Op Creek and then
Gulag,
yeah,
and
Gulag.
Milky Way, Op Creek, Doodle Bop, Gulag, and then Gulag came about. That thing came out awesome. I love that. I'm really happy with the way that
Gulag was when we really started getting our we could work together.
workflow.
Yeah, getting that flow state, baby. What's the workflow? You just Jimbo works on a file, saves it, and then he sends it to me, and then I work on it, and then I send it back, and that's the flow, baby. It works.
Yes, because Magic is the fight design man.
That's right.
What are you?
I make things pretty.
He's the beautify man. Make it beautiful. And that's what he recently did to Op Eggplant, which is going to be released this Wednesday. So, which I guess when we release this podcast will be today. So today, join us for the Woohoo Wednesday. If you don't know, we host just a small but also massive event called Woohoo Wednesday every single week at 6 p.m. Pacific on the Wednesday nights. You just hop on the op server and we're all just opping it up. At this point, I don't really think we struggle to even fill it anymore because the Gloveworks community has been revived.
Yeah, it was full today.
Yeah, it's been full like almost every single night. So, so you know what that means? You guys are gonna have to buy some VIP subscriptions and get a reserve slot. Don't do it yet though, because it's not set up.
It's also not really. Like, we're not there yet. Where it's
We're
full
not
all the
there
time.
yet.
Right now, there's 4 people on. You're not gonna get much value out of a reserved slot right now.
Yeah. But we'll get there. But I mean, it's also like a good thing to talk about is like, so we're not there yet, which is the point to make is that like we're still rebuilding everything from CS:GO. Like that's. So we're on a new game engine now, Source 2 with CS2. We came from Source 1 and CS:GO. And what that means is like every single feature in the server, every single asset, every single map, all has to be rebuilt. So we're slowly but surely rebuilding our empire. And then that means we've had to rebuild and figure out a way to re-implement the reserve slot system. So give us some time. We'll let you know when it's out there. So, but yeah, for the time being, it's probably not that big a deal to get a reserve slot. But I think most evenings the server is filling up now. So yeah, if you're looking to play during prime time and want a reserve slot, ultimately what that means is you'll even if the server's full, you'll be able to join and it'll shove you into the server. No matter what, so you won't have to sit there and wait in the queue to join. And then, in CS:GO, the perks we had for the VIPs was colored chat, so you could have you could choose a color for your chat messages, and then we also gave players fists to punch other players with, but that was a danger zone feature, and danger zone is not in CS2, so we will be unable to provide people with fists. So I think at this point, for a VIP player, we'd for sure be able to do the reserve slot system. I just looked that up today. I'll have to see how we can pull off, or if it's even practical to pull off colors for your chat. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, we keep the features that we offer pretty light because we don't want to bloat the server with a bunch of stupid stuff like trails and laser beams all over the place and all that kind of stuff. We like to keep it pretty vanilla in the server and authentic to CS gameplay. But if y'all have any ideas, even of some VIP features you would like to see, I'd love to hear them. Especially if you've seen it in another server, you're like, yo, this feature was cool. Maybe provide this to VIP or something. Definitely let us know. And
I feel like people like to buy clout. So
true.
any like what does that mean? Buying clout, like over Discord, like getting a Discord role.
Oh
that's
yeah, you get a role in
clout,
Discord,
right?
of course. Yeah. So in Discord we have a VIP roles set up, so you'll be able to like, yeah, you'll show off that you're VIP. What like okay, so maybe we'll do a VIP tag as well on the server.
I'm sure.
Didn't we used
we'll
to do
figure
that when we
something
sold
out.
Prestige? There was a Prestige.
Yeah, we
tag?
had the prestige tag. We then ended up also having like the cuddle star and those other
True.
things.
So yes, we can figure something out, I guess.
Okay, I wanted to ask just about the map stuff. What like you were talking about like skill and how op fast is like too like hard, I guess. So what is another map that you would say is like hard or like it requires skill to play?
I would say Gulag is. That's why I'm surprised Gulag's picking up in popularity and people are stoked. Like, cause like I think if you suck at like opping and like you're not too good at Counter-Strike, dude, you're getting absolutely smoked on Gulag. It's a very fast-paced map. A lot of the fights, if you go to the upper platform, it's like headshot v headshot. If you step up a little bit on the platform, you're exposed. You're gonna get blasted. The spawning is very quick, so right out of spawn, you can like 2 seconds into the round you can get killed if you step in the wrong place. It's very cutthroat. I would say those are aspects of a map that is built to reward skill, and definitely I would say Gulag's noob friendly at all.
I get you. I know what you mean. So the pace, the lack of ability to hide and spawn,
Right.
and just the I guess because
It's
of
hard to camp.
Yeah, exactly. The
I
only
think
place
Danny
to
Troy's a
camp is
fan.
at the up top of like when you go up the ramp, you have a safe spot there, but only for
Yeah.
a brief amount of time.
And then I mean, so on the other side of the coin, what is an easy map? I think an easy map that comes to
Orp
mind is
India.
Lego 2.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah,
Lego
yeah,
too.
You spawn
It's too
and you're
safe.
You're safe. You're safe in spawn for at least 10 seconds. You can just sit there and pick your ass. Like you're not fucking freaking out about anything. You're just like do. I'm just in spawn. I mean that's part of the fun, right? Like if you're just trying to like chill, listen to music, play a little bit of CS, get a kill here and there, like it's definitely a vibe to like be on Op Lego 2 and stress free is the way to be, you know?
Yeah, it's very flexible because you don't. It's safe. You don't have to play that way. A lot of people just run up the ramp, jump down, and brawl it out for the tower position. Other people will just go for the side fights instantly. Other people run down the side and just hope they don't get shot. Like it is it's a low floor. How do I want to say this? It opens up. It's available for noobs. The noobs can enjoy it, but I do think there is still high skill to the map as well.
Yeah, I would say the more you advance into the map, the more skill becomes a factor where like you got to pull it off because the second you go up the ramp to the top plat, you're taking pretty gnarly headshot fights, and they're not even always. The further you push up the ramp onto the platform, the heads can peek out in more and more different places, so you can't pre-aim the head peek. So, but if you just want to play it simple, you just stay in spawn and you hold a left or a right side, right on the bottom. You just hold that one simple angle, and you're like, yeah, I'm just chilling here, listening, grooving to my tunes. That's something that I find that like the most interesting is, and it's something you typically learn after like sometimes years down the road when you're playing CS with people, and then you learn like, that they're always playing music in the background, and I'm like, whoa, because I'm not a person that plays CS with playing music in the background. Like,
I think it's wild when people play competitive music in the background.
Yeah, but it might be down the middle, 50-50, whether you play with music in the background or not when you're playing CS. Like, I think there's a huge population that always have some music playing in the background.
That's interesting. So, like, it's obvious why you wouldn't, like, if you use sound when you play.
Right.
Some people just don't care so much about sound. If they're not going to listen to the footsteps, they're just going to kind of have a general idea of where the enemies are and just go for it.
I would say someone, even just a streamer, Stewie2K, dude, whenever he's streaming and stuff, he's always got some tunes playing. He's just, and he's hearing them too, because he's singing along with the songs and stuff. And he's just sitting there jamming to tunes, playing pugs, and he still gets into clutching. He doesn't seem to like not hear a footstep, so he must have like balanced his audio like pretty well.
Huh.
I mean, it's possible that people like that might have a button which mutes it if he needs it.
Oh yeah, true. Because I know Bob listens to a lot of music in the background. I know Kiro does. I know Olivia does. I know there's a lot of people just put music on in the background. And I'm just like, dude, I don't know, man. I just want to focus on the game, dog. I guess it also matters if you're in if you're just playing, casual in a community server, or if you're like in a match.
Yeah, if you just open away.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's much of an issue.
Yo, drop it in the comments. Do you play with music on when you're playing CS? Certain scenarios? What type of gamer are you? And then, then the genre comes into play. I guess I'd be more apt to actually put on like a podcast or something in the back. No, would I put podcast or would I put? I don't know. I guess I just don't put much in the background really.
Yeah, I'm similar. I would always have a Twitch stream if anything.
Yeah, the Twitch stream in the background. True.
So, thinking about I still want to think about the mapping competition. Not the mapping competition. The
map jam.
Map jam. I just like. I don't think people from the server will participate. I doubt it. So like,
I'm also yes.
So who like? Is it realistic to get people who like make actual maps, like who try to make diffusal maps to try to make an op map? I don't know if that's even harder to.
I think the money talks here, and I think clout will hold a little bit of incentive. Only if like when we can say that like, yo, we have this many thousands of active players a week, a month in the servers, and we have those numbers, then we can tell them like, this is the op server. But I think that money would talk if we put up like $100 or something.
Yeah, I forgot about Chris H.
True. Yes.
No Mercy, right? He's our mapper. Chewy's not the OG.
Correct.
It's actually Chris H. I don't know where he came from. I don't know because I didn't see him.
He came and went like the wind. Chris came out of nowhere. Who got in contact? I think you got in contact with him first.
I think he joined the server.
Oh, okay.
And then I think he reached out to you.
Okay. No, that would be. I think I met him in the server. I think, and he's like, "Oh, hey, I want to get into map." And then he showed me his workshop, and he like made a few maps. I'm like, "Okay, all right." And then I just showed him some stuff. Yeah, and then so what? I think his first map was Op Heat that he made.
Yeah, it was Heat, and then he was trying to do.
Oh, he made Heat.
Yes, that's a great map. I like Magic loves it.
I love
a lot of people love Heat.
Yeah, dude.
Like
that might be my favorite map. That might be my number one op map. I mean, no, okay. Op India V2 is the GOAT. It's the number one. It's just everyone fucking leaves the server when you fucking go to Op India.
Yeah.
So, maybe I'll take the responsibility upon myself to do a remaster of Op India V2 and then try to figure out a way to implement some changes to make the map bearable for people that hate it. That's going to be so hard to do.
I don't know. That's rough.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? So, what about Heat though? Is that something that we're gonna ask Chris to try? I don't know if it's
I
like, if that's
talked
something he's
to him
interested
because
in.
he just so like yeah he what so he got in contact with us. He probably hung out in the op server and like developed stuff with us for like 6 months, I feel. And he made Op Heat, then he made Op No Mercy, and then he tried out like one other map, I think. And
Yeah, I think it was it was supposed to be like overpass or
underpass
or
something like that. And
I loved that map. It was just
it had legs, and I was like, dude, do you have those files still? And I think he tried to find them, and he couldn't. But I think it had legs. I think with a little bit of some work on it, I think we could figure out a way to play it. But he just plays fighting games now, like Street Fighter and stuff like that. But he's still like online and stuff. He's there he is. Last online 1 day and 17 hours ago. So yeah, he's still active. But
right. So I don't think I would imagine he's not too interested. I remember asking him about it back when I was in my learning CS2 mapping arc, like probably in October. I was asking him if, are you gonna get in on this and make a map in Source 2 or something? He did. I don't think he said no, but I still I doubt, like you said, if he's not playing Counter-Strike, why was he gonna make a map in it?
True.
So like maybe you could reach out and see how he feels about
a map jam.
One of you guys like porting it over.
I'm sure he'd be fine with it. Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's just ranking the maps we want to like port over, and which ones we want to work on. So.
Right, because I do think he is. I don't see it mentioned, but I do feel like it's one of the favorites.
It definitely is, and No Mercy's big too. There's a lot of No Mercy fans.
I'm curious about I want to see where people put it on the tier list.
Oh yeah, so yeah, there's a tier list. There's a map tier maker that we have. It's in Discord. I'll pin it so people can find it. If you join Discord, or I'll put it on the forum too. So if you want to go to mygloveworks.com or you want to hop on our Discord, I'll pin the tier list on the forum and in here. So you can go on, you can use the little tier maker tool, and then you can rank all the maps we've played over the years. So we can see like which maps you enjoy the most, and then we'll look at everyone's submissions. I think everyone's just kind of doing it, and then they post a screenshot, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Seems to be.
So yeah,
Seems to be the way.
Go through, do the tiers, post a screenshot, so we can just kind of check out and see what maps people like.
It's essentially you're voting for the map which you used to play on Counter-Strike, which isn't in Counter-Strike 2. Because if enough people have a map in S tier, we're going to look at it and be like, that map needs to be in Counter-Strike 2. That map needs to be on the server.
That's right. That's right.
So it's your chance to vote on a map that gets in next.
I'm seeing it in around B and C tier for a lot of people. A lot meaning like I've looked at probably 5 different tier lists right now.
Yeah. Well, then we have the old tier maker photos from like 2 years ago where people rank stuff, and we could just kind of base it off of that too.
Someone needs to put this in a spreadsheet.
Ooh, an A. Who does Haxer rated Heat A tier? Okay.
For me, Op Heat S tier. S tier.
I gotta do one of these tier lists.
I wonder, what do you guys think like an underrated map is? Where like a lot of people just don't give it the credit where credit is due. I have one in mind right now.
I'm gonna say Space Wall.
No, okay. The coolest part about Spacewall, it is the map, but it is the core feature of putting that wall up. And then I'm pretty sure you implemented that feature before Valorant did their wall implementation for the spawns.
Yep.
So
Valorant stole my idea.
yeah, Valorant
You could
jacked
sue.
you, dude. That's your feature.
Yep. I built the wall. No one else built it. So besides, actually, before I leave Spacewall, I was looking at my old videos because I used to make videos when I was developing the map to get feedback early on, and I remember Spacewall used to have like a small like handrail wall, but like a solid one around the entire top side. And I put that first, and then I added the stairs, the infamous like side ramps that people head glitch on all game.
Yeah.
There used to be a vertical wall so that people like there's no point in head glitching there because you can't see over the wall. So at some point along the way, I forgot about those ramps. I removed a wall, and that OP spot was unintentionally created. That's I at some point, I don't know, I should have done something about that specifically because that's like the thing people complain about the most about Spacewall is that one spot that dominates the whole map.
I think it's okay. Like, it's the head glitch spot. It's not like their head can peek up from very like many different spots, so you can pre-aim them pretty easy. And then they get overwhelmed at the end of the round anyways because everyone's collapsing in on them. So I mean, it's definitely the nerd spot to be, but
So besides Spacewall, I think Lego 3 is kind of underrated. I'm not sure.
That's the map I was gonna say. I was gonna say like the most underrated map because when people like even join the server, like they're like, oh well, where are the old maps? I very rarely hear people like mention Lego 3, but it's such a good map. Like I maybe it's the aesthetics where it's just not like iconic or something, but like it kind of is. Like I'm not sure why it's not top of mind for people, but like that is a great map.
It's so the map is I don't think about it much, but it's
that's my point.
Really?
Like you don't think about it. I don't know why. But
it's so small. It's surprisingly small. Like you don't think about it when because like the whole like upper yellow floor area is what gives you the illusion that it's a big map. But really, it's very quick to just like push down a side or push down the middle. Like if you compare Lego 3's size to Lego 2, I feel like Lego 3 is way smaller. But I never even realized that until right now as I'm speaking. I thought Lego 3 was a big map.
Yeah. I think it makes it feel big because if you go to the outskirts of the map, and especially if you're on the up like platform, like platforms on that wrap around the outside, then it's big. I guess it feels really big because you can fight corner to corner, right?
Yeah.
And that is such a long fight because even when you're double scoping in from corner to corner, it's just like holy smokes, this is a long shot. Leap, are you around? If so, tell us what are your like things that like you enjoy seeing in a map?
Oh, hi. Yeah. I don't know, but I like long angles. I don't like close up, so I always get killed by people who push.
I see.
Yeah. What map do you think of when you think of long angles?
Long angles. What map do we... Maybe like
Name an off map.
no, like Asylum.
Asylum has long angles, I guess, but
Spawn
that's not
to
really the
spawn
map
a
I would
little.
think of.
It
It does have spawn to spawn fights.
Lego.
That's fair.
I guess like India V2.
True.
So are you one of
No,
the people on India V2 who's like sits at the
Sitting on it all.
boxes?
Mm,
Like, how do you
not,
play
r-
it?
not really. Okay, I like to I like to fight there and then eventually move to the middle, but I don't like to stay behind the boxes too long.
Okay, so then imagine yourself, you go to the middle. Are you like sticking around the bottom of the ramp? Are you gonna just run up the ramp and take a fight there? Like, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try to take a fight at the top of the ramp because even though I like and I'm better at long angles, I feel like it's too much of a waste of time to just try to play it slow. Oh no,
Yeah, that's
really
like the
slow.
nature of the server is you're just gonna push forward eventually. So that's fair.
Yeah,
it's
so that's
almost
my
it's almost
recommendation.
like that's almost what first person video games are. You just hold W and like you just keep going. So I think playing into that, like giving players enough space to like just hold W, and like if the map is fun, if you're just holding W, it's like signs of a good map.
True. That's part of the issue with Space Wall. Because of the wall, like you hold W, but
And then you
you
hit
you
the
can't.
wall.
Yeah, it stops you, and then it's like weird. Oh, what do I do now? I don't know.
Well, doesn't the wall break before you touch it?
Yeah, it's still like it's just different. Like the whole point of the wall was to allow people to position themselves where they want
Right.
to. And like that's the whole thing is, oh, if you allow people to position themselves, now there's no pushing forward. Now it's, oh, just any person can really
So
be
what if
anywhere.
Spacewall was even longer? So maybe it's just that people they once the wall breaks, because the wall is literally just like a foot wide. So what if the wall was like 50 feet wide, and it pushed so when the wall does eventually go down, the players are still further from each other,
Okay.
or just
So longer lengthwise, but not like width, not any wider. It's just like
maybe.
giving it the Op
Yeah,
India treatment, or it's
I
just
suppose.
really long range. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know what that map. So there's
It's a cool concept. Let's Op Space Wall V. You've gone through a lot of versions.
yeah, that went all the way up to like V16, I think, before I ended up publishing it on the workshop, and then I got like a completely like I went from V16 to just Space Wall, and it's like I chopped off the side rooms, and people didn't like that,
No,
so
I
I had to
hated
revert
that.
back
I
to
hated
Space
that.
Wall old.
Yeah.
So the version on the server that's Space Wall old, that's just V10. So that's the one that people are familiar with. That's like there like any like every little iteration was like minor changes. So I I really don't think I like if I went back now and went through those changes, I probably would not do them. I think that my changes were very reactive. I would hear what people complain about, and I would just
Yeah.
address that rather than just assessing, okay, well, why are they complaining? Like, there's
Yeah.
something more to it rather than just what they're saying. And
This was your first map, so you were new to the experience of receiving feedback.
exactly.
And the worst thing you can do as a developer in the realm of creation is on like game development, in my opinion, is bending the knee to every little piece of feedback. Because you want to know what? Most people fucking suck. You fucking suck at the game. I don't need your fucking feedback. You're dog shit. So fuck off with your dumbass feedback. It's a little harsh, but like I think
Oh, it's the thing about people don't actually know what they want.
yeah, and they don't know what they want.
True.
Oh yeah, they just say shit. They're just like, "Oh, what? This is stupid. I don't like it." And you're like, "Why don't you like it?" Yeah, pressing people during feedback is actually hilarious. Like most of the time when people are giving feedback, they say something and they're just like, "Well, why do you think that?" And they're like, "I don't know." It's like, "Well, thanks, dude."
And I agree with that. In fairness to myself, like I did make Summer Surf as my second map, and that's one of the that grew on the server. I remember when I was first like forcing people to play it, they were like, "What the heck is this?" Because like there's just no long range angle. There's just a surf in front of you. You can't see anyone. But apparently people really love that map. I'm seeing like 1 or 2 S tiers in the tier list.
Oh yeah.
So there's
Oh
something
yeah.
about that map that people love. And I don't think I just put like 1 or 2 play tests and I changed stuff based off how I felt. I don't think I took feedback like afterward and just left that map
Good.
alone.
Good. Yeah, that's just something I hate about like the AAA studios when a lot of people when they're developing games, they get rid of the stuff that like makes the game great just to make it easier for the noobs, for the idiots. It's sad to see. Sad to see. I think I think having parts of a game that are very cutthroat that increase the skill ceiling is something that is like it contributes to like the longevity of a game. That like having a high skill ceiling, like little quirks in the engine, little quirks in the game that take a long time to master. I think it adds to the charm and it adds to the long term viability of this game being around for many years to come. I think that's the coolest thing about Counter-Strike, how simple it is. And just the subtle change of introducing smokes that are volumetric and can be shot through, like that core mechanic will, and the meta around it, I think you're gonna see development for the next 3, 4, 5 years on it. Because even just the generic smoke, people started Counter-Strike was made and like released in 1999, and you're still seeing new smoke strats in 2020, like 20 years later. The core game really hasn't changed. They're still using flashbangs and smokes in different ways. Like I think you release the game, have these like features and abilities just that are like very core and fundamental, and let the meta develop over a very long period of time. Like Valorant, for
Yes.
instance, when they came out with the beta, what they have like 6 to 8 like heroes or champions. I think they should have left it at that, and just those elements alone, like with the features and abilities that they put into place, I think there was at least 10 to 20 years of meta and strategy that could be built around them. But since they fucking added 12,000 more characters and shit, it's just a shit show now. And this is like, god damn. So yeah, I like games that have simplicity, but so all the nuances you can just spend just light years. It's just like you just spend ages developing new strategies and new ways to implement them. Because teamwork's tough. Like coordinating very technical things requires a lot of practice, a lot of effort, but it's like beautiful to see it in a pro match and the good players pulling off those mechanics perfectly, and it gives you something to strive for and something like jaw-dropping and awestruck when you see it happen.
Yes, I do believe that the whole idea of allowing people to break the meta, like that was a thing. That's a thing that when I played Hearthstone, people would always be like, "Oh, I've got this new deck that's gonna break the meta," and it's like it might be like the same deck but with one card change, and that card change just a deck that people would have played for like years, and one card change is gonna actually
That's
stick.
like Yu-Gi-Oh. Things happen. Just one card suddenly completes a deck, and then it's overpowered.
Exactly. So people in the context of an op server, it'll just be like
One
one
spot, one
timing.
angle.
Exactly. Any little thing that people like missed out on and someone finds a way to abuse it. It could be as simple as like, "Oh, I'm going to bunny hop at this one spot to get a little bit faster timing and completely change like so that people are not going to be able to hold this angle in time, or people are not going to be able to sneak by here because I'm going to catch them off." Like little things like that will develop that people just don't otherwise find, and like they won't find it for. I guess it just depends on for the op server. Since it's limited to our player base, there's just not as many people there to potentially break the meta compared to like a diffusal map in the map pool. There's like millions of people playing it, so the meta, just through sheer numbers of people playing, it's gonna allow the meta to change. And even then, like you were saying, the game existed for 20 years and there's still smokes that'll change the meta, right? So the whole idea of just letting some people like study and grind the map and figure out like any like even a new person, doesn't have to be a person who's played the map forever. Anyone new who just doesn't know the meta might try something and change the whole way the map is played forever.
Like, have you guys seen the video by Mahome TV, The History of Inferno Banana Control?
Yeah.
Absolutely
yeah.
not.
It's a half an hour video about the smokes on one part of a map and the development of 20 years of how people played Banana on Inferno and how the method developed over time with minimal map changes.
Yeah. Yeah, and you get to see the what Valve did to Banana over the years and how it adapted and how it says, one part of the map just through very small changes just drastically changed the way people interacted and solved the problem.
That's a good point. Just being able to change the map in some way. So that's something that we did not do much.
Well, it was lame to do in CS:GO, right? Because if you wanted to change a map in CS:GO, you'd have to change the file name, which would essentially change the map name itself. Because because like Op Lego 2, if we change the map and we make an edit, what's it going to be? Op Lego 2 V2? And
we had that problem. So I mean, Valve forced us into using workshop maps, so it's not a problem in Counter-Strike 2 anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So everyone knows that it's not an issue anymore because when we publish maps now to the workshop, well, basically every map you play on a server now, you download that map asset from the Steam Workshop, which enables us creators to seamlessly update the map, and then it'll automatically update the map on the file and the server.
And not to mention packing textures.
Yeah, and it'll sync everything up. That way, us map creators can publish updates seamlessly without changing the map name now. So it's super cool.
So if we do small changes to maps, people will probably hate it. Now that I think about it, because people always hate change, but I feel like it's something to think about trying. Just any little change to.
Well, that's why I brought up making
meta.
changes to India V2. Like it's an OG, it's a GOAT in my opinion. I fucking love that map. But dude, most people fucking hate it. So why not just try some tests, try some changes, and see if I can breathe some life into it. Why not?
Yeah, it's tricky. I feel like the thing people don't like about it is the spawns, which last episode we were just talking about how the spawns are like crucial, and we just gotta let people hate the map and deal with it,
right?
Because it's just the skill issue.
We can just reduce the amount. Like there's a pretty high likelihood you could spawn in an extremely unfavorable spawn on Op India. I think there's charm in keeping it, just reducing the amount and likelihood of going to one of those spots.
I will concede that having a spawn where you just die and there's nothing you can do about it, that kind of sucks. So, but like if there's like spots where you won't immediately die, but you
can spawn them on the outs. I think a little thing that could go a long way is that the trash bins and box on the left and right side of spawn on India if we just made those, 20-30% bigger, like just made them just a little bit wider, because it's a pretty narrow spot to be. Let's make it just a little bit wider, comfort the player a little bit more when they spawn and like that, and maybe a little subtle changes like that. Nothing too crazy. Ultimately just reducing the anxiety in some of the main spawn areas and just seeing how people feel.
Like, I do think with India, there's like people don't like the cracks in the boxes, and I was also, again, last time I was talking about the angle that Haltz abuses with the
Right.
little crack, but I feel like part of that is like the charm of the map is like that broken, because like we were just talking with Jimbo about making the map symmetrical and how like having a differences, like having a map be sided is like, it feels weird, but that was a big part of the charm in India, is how like it was kind of like incredibly T-sided just because of that one like spot to abuse. Like
Right.
it feels so much more like strong as a T to be in spawn by those boxes. But there is counterplay still. For that one specific spot I'm talking about, you can get close enough to where they have to peek you without using that spot. If you like wrap around as a CT, if you're wrapping around the left side and just avoiding the angle. So there's counterplay. It's just, it's not, so it's not fun, but it's like, it is very fun for the T. So you have to give and take there. So I don't know. If whether we would keep that or not in an India remake, I'm not sure. I'm like iffy on it.
Yeah, and then what? That's just the fun part, I feel, about just. I mean, at this point, how old some of the maps are. I mean, how old is Op Lego too? Op India is the oldest, because I know Op India is originally from. Well, I guess Op India V1 is from 1.6. Yeah, so is the V2 version. So I'm pretty certain. But then like Op Lego 2, that was like a source map, and then yeah, so it's like how at what point do we even consider like making a change to a map? And then it's interesting to even think about that kind of stuff, and just like Dust 2, for instance, like. Valve made the decision to make a dramatic change on Dust 2, which I think is lame. But so you can't pick through doors from the back of T spawn anymore. You have to like jump down, and you can only get the headshot now. But I miss that. I miss just shooting through the fucking doors from T spawn. Like, that was super fun. But they made the decision to change the meta, and people still seem to like the map. So, oh fuck the new. I guess I haven't played much of the new D2, but I'm not a fan of them adding the box by CT spawn to allow people to solo jump to short. I think that is so dumb, lame, stupid. Thumbs down. What do you guys think?
I have not played since then. How does that work out? Like, is it just broken? Or...
So CT spawn, normally you're like, oh, boost me fast cat if you want to get to like cat super fast, right? So right out of spawn, you're gonna go to the left. Those boxes are there, and you and another homie would have to go. He'd have to jump on the box, and then you jump on his head, and then go fast cat. Well, the boxes are arranged now that you no longer need a homie to do it. You just jump right up on the ledge and just go fast cat by yourself. Like, no problem.
I
That
think it
kinda
doesn't affect it as much as you think, because the map is already CT-sided, because you can already just rush out the door. So
I think it
already
favors
get
the
bottom mid.
CTs even more. Like,
It does, but because it's already got a CT-sidedness to it, there's not as much of an impact as you think, as if there wasn't that already there. Like, I'm not saying it's a good thing at all, but the effect isn't as prominent because
as a CT, I see someone long and I'm on the CT ramp, right? And I'm not on A plat. I see or hear, I just hear some footsteps long. I immediately just run and I jump up onto cat. Before, you'd have to ask for a boost. So boost me sight so you could get up there.
That's fair. That's a really good point, actually. If you are a rotator from B to A and they're long, Like and like the T's will normally smoke cross.
Right.
So now the CTs can easily just get up
Yeah.
on top of catwalk
So now
from CT
they
while the
smoke
smokes are there.
cross is smoked. They're just jumping up onto the cat. It's no brainer. It's easy. Nope. Whatever. So
Right.
Oh, I didn't even think about it from like a yeah.
Yeah. I only thought about that right now when Magic mentioned it. And even just like it's still technically possible to boost, but like you said, like it's like they removed the team play aspect.
Yeah.
Like it's and that kind of I don't know how I feel about it.
It's
I'd really have to see how
lame.
it plays.
And now on cat, you're so paranoid of someone because now someone could just sit there. I mean, I've done it. It works really well. You hear them cat, and then it's just like a head glitch. You just crouch, and then you stand up, and you boop boop boop. You just kill the guy cat that's chilling right by the wall there, right at the top of the stairs by the wall and the tiny little brick thing. You just fucking light them up, easy.
I mean, like we're talking about making changes to switch up the meta, so I can respect what Valve's trying. Like these are like they seem small, but they are like huge changes.
Yeah.
But, like to just go for it, like that's something I feel like
and
we
then
should
the
try
changes
to
to
do.
vertigo, right? I just think it's like I'm not against. I'm all for changing the meta and stuff. And I think it's fun, right? So you find a map that you enjoy. And it's just like it's like a new problem to solve. It's like because every map is essentially like a problem, and then you, as a gamer, it's fun to like find the solutions. You're like, oh, let me try a solution here. I play long A, and there's like typically 3-4 different ways to play long A, and then you try the different solutions, and you find what works for you as a player. And even in the pro scene, when you watch the demos, you can see every pro has a different way of playing certain sites and certain angles and different executes and different defenses. It's like it's the solution they've decided to roll with. And after a long period of time, it gets stale, right? Because everyone's using the same solution, so why not give it a refresh? It's a good map. People don't hate it, but they just don't love it anymore because it's overplayed, hence D2, why it was even removed in the first place from the active duty pool. But now it's back in the active duty pool. They're doing some updates, kind of breathing some life into it. People can find some new solutions. But it's like interesting from the developer side, I feel like when do you start making changes? Like when the moment's right,
Have Valve I'm asking if they've ever like undone a change. And though off the top of my head for Dust 2, I know that B doors used to like they were changed, but they used to be this way, like as they currently were. It started this way, right? So that's kind of like an undo.
I mean, other than
I think
the
it's
big hole in
source.
the
I think
vertigo.
I think 1.6 to source they did it. I'd say I'm pretty certain that's because it was like that in 1.6, and I'm quite certain it's not like that in source.
I mean, the new vertigo changes. They put the hole back.
Oh yeah, you're right. That I know what you're talking about. From A, like they're the big
the
Yeah.
big
C
hole in
from
the wall for
CT through
CTs.
to
Yeah.
A. What short is it called?
Yeah.
So that's a good one that they've undone. So that's the thing too. Like we could try something out. Like I guess it's just
I mean, going back to Dust 2, the T spawn blocking bit in like 1.6 was there or wasn't there? Like that's been added and taken away a few times.
Oh, you think so? Oh, I actually, if I think about a video of Dust 2 1.6, I do think you're right. I mean, of course you're right. If you know you're right, you're right. But like, I can see that the cross wasn't there, or like you did have to like jump down, I believe. So that's a good point too. Even that aspect was switched back and forth. So I guess it's like what's their goal? Are they like just like trying it out and then giving it like several years before they change it back? Like
Yes. How much time do you give people to solve the problems? And then once there are solutions, once you can see your player base find the solutions that you intended to incorporate as the map maker, then I think it's just kind of up to you to kind of just vibe it out, and it's an emotional thing, and you feel like, okay, all right, I think it's getting a little stale now. Let's see if we can introduce a change.
Right. And so then why don't they like So for these changes, we're talking about like reverting stuff. Like why? Like I guess I'm wondering why don't they like change something else? Like, is like compared to changing something back, like I would see, or I would interpret changing something back as if you're admitting it was a mistake, but maybe that's not what it is. Maybe it is just like switching up the meta, and it has nothing to do with it being a mistake. It's just a change.
No, I think they see it as they made up. They don't want to admit to their mistakes.
That's, I suppose.
They're like, no, we were right. We're not wrong. We didn't make mistakes.
I think, yeah, it's one thing for us to make a change to a map, but then it's another thing if we see Valve making changes to their maps. When, like, I guess the argument can be said that, like, well, why don't they just, instead of making changes to the maps, people, if you think the game's getting stale or map's getting stale, why aren't they just releasing a new map? Like, what the fuck? Like, why do you have to? It's not that we don't like the map; it's that we're bored because we want more problems and different puzzles to solve. We don't need you. We liked the old puzzle. Why are you changing the old puzzle when you could just give us a new puzzle to solve?
Well, you also have to think about that. Sometimes the game changes, right? They update the game itself, and then that then has knock-on consequences to maps. You know, a very simple example is the smokes in CS2.
Yeah.
So bigger smokes means you can smoke things easier. So certain holds become more overpowered. You know, you can't push everywhere, or autonomous laser T. You now can get places you couldn't before because smokes now cover gaps.
That's
so now you have to
big.
So maybe you have to think about changing the map now to, you know, because you changed the game. You have to make the maps fit your new game.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd say, yeah.
Adding new mechanics.
Dust
That's
2,
really
I mean,
what it is.
Dust 2, yeah, the bigger smokes now are like, they're big. That a smoke can fill up even long A now. I feel like it's just little gaps on the left and right, but like for the most part, the new smokes can.
I mean, if you nail it, you can get it.
Yeah. So I'd say Inferno's. Yeah, one smoke can do a lot more on Inferno now. So I guess that's something we're gonna see happen in Gloveworks too. Just see what once we get nades in there. So once people, when you get multi kills, give people their nades. We'll see we haven't seen the nades yet, actually, in CS2 and Gloveworks.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck.
I'm just thinking about that. Like, oh, introducing a new mechanic will we did it like subtle, like, because it was not easy to get a smoke. Like, and also I'm thinking about how we had flashbangs. That was the
so I've been thinking about this. The way we had it in CSGO, the way we had nades implemented was that if you got 4 kills in one round, you received a bonus grenade for the achievement of getting a 4K in one round. And then you could type in !nade in chat, and then you could select which grenade you wanted. We allowed a smoke grenade, an HE grenade, and a decoy. I think making it a little bit easier to attain is a good thing, because it was something that you very rarely saw, and it was almost unattainable for just an average player to achieve and get 4 kills in a round to get a nade. That's like, it's hard to do. So you'd very rarely see it, and it's certainly never done by an average player. I think a good middle ground might be 5 kills in a row without dying, but a spanning across multiple rounds. So if you just stay alive for multiple rounds and get 5 kills without dying, then we'll give them the nade.
That's fair.
Even I've done that a few times, and I play on 150 ping.
Yeah, so then you'll get a smoke grenade, and then we'll get to see what the new smoke grenades look like, and
or maybe like 2 kills you get a decoy, 3 kills you get a smoke, 4 kills you get a HG.
Yeah, we played with that.
Yeah, it just gets out of hand. Too many nades.
I guess so.
I do worry about it.
Okay, purely hypothetical, because I don't think you could implement this. But like when you hit the 2 kills, You can either take the decoy, or be like, no, I want to try and get a third kill to get my smoke.
No, then you'd have to
I mean, it's
prompt them
possible.
to accept, deny.
Yeah, this is what I mean. But like, from a purely gameplay standpoint, hypothetically, it could work. But then you have to, actually implementing it and then having to communicate it to the players.
Like, it's not that bad. Like I'm thinking about the Quake Sounds menu right now.
Yeah.
It's like kind of integrated into your own keys, and so we could have it be like a prompt, and if you like press I don't know, because like the Quake Sounds one right now is just like up, down, left, right, and if you're already moving forward or something, you're gonna accidentally select something maybe.
Yeah.
So it's tricky. It would have been easier with CS:GO because you could just show the menu on the side, and then they'll just press 1 or 2, and that's done. So having prompting mid round is tricky. That's the whole reason why it was like a menu to select beforehand. I also kind of worry about like since CS2 is more intensive, like of an engine, like the engine it's on, and then we're also adding smokes. Like I worry about like if we're allowing nades, and I'm talking about smoke specifically because I don't think it's an issue for HE or decoy, but if we're allowing people to put like multiple smokes on the map at once, like I would worry about how negative of an experience it would be for players who like will have low frame rate as a result of that. But maybe that's not even a concern. Maybe it's just like it's just on them.
I don't remember why we didn't. I don't really see a downside. Why aren't we allowing them to select a molly? Like, why don't we just get a smoke grenade or a molly?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, throwing. I think I remember throwing a molly, and then everyone the team with the molly could just run through it.
Yeah, that's annoying. That's true.
Because then, then the opposing team, because we don't have team damage on, so the opposing team would be stopped, and then the team with the molly would just run right through it, no big deal. That's why.
Yeah,
that's why
I do that in casual. It's very fun.
Okay.
Right. That's like I think I don't know if it was Face or ESCA that did that. That was abused.
Yeah, unchill. All right, so no molly. So the other one I think would be fun is that spanning across multiple rounds, again, just to make it a bit easier, but upping the kill amount. So 5K for the nade, and then 8K, you get the taser.
Something I really wanted to do, like on a similar to that, but like more chaotic, is I wanted to treat nades as like pieces of Exodia, and when you have all 3 nades, you get a nuke. and you would just you just assemble all 3, and now you get to kill everyone.
That's
for one
funny.
round. But I mean, I didn't do that. I could have. That would have been a really silly
Dude, that'd
thing
be
to do.
fucking hilarious. What'd you say, Exodia? What the fuck is it? The only thing I'm thinking about is the Marvel movie, the dude with the fists and the stones.
Oh yeah, I mean it's similar. The Thanos
yeah.
gauntlet, whatever. Yeah, it is exactly the same as that.
Yu-Gi-Oh, where if you collect 5 cards, if you draw these 5 pieces of Exodia, you just win the game.
Oh shit. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, there's whole decks which involve every sort of draw card you can imagine. So you can just draw your card. So like you'll just sit there while the other person just like draws cards until they get Exodia.
Yeah.
And if they don't, so their decks involve either I draw Exodia, or if I run out of draw power, they just lose.
Yup.
I think that'd be fun to implement.
Draw.
Like, and then you get all 4. We'd have to have all 4 implemented. So we could do.
We just implement Exodia.
No, we have 3, and then so we could do the 4th being the flashbang. You only get the flashbang at like something like 10, 12, 14 kills or something. Just the flashbang's available, just very rare.
Yeah, like ultimately, it's similar to just and also there's 5 nades, so and it is possible to enable.
Well, we're just not going to implement the molly. Is the point? Like realistically, we're just.
Oh,
not...
true, fair.
Although
that's fair.
once you get the molly, you just win. You just
Oh,
isn't
that
that-
could be the way it works. is,
Oh,
we
the
give him
molly's the
molly,
final. Nice. Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
maybe you have to once you throw the molly, that'll act as like the
And
trigger.
then
Oh.
the second it hits the ground, boom! Oh my god! And then and then it would kill everyone in the server except for the player that threw it.
I think it's like in Modern Warfare 2.
Everyone
it
died.
killed
Everyone?
including yourself, and
Sick.
then the
You just get
game
the
just
round
ends.
Sick.
So that was, I mean, that's super funny. Like I think it's fair to have it kill the person who's holding it. So I mean, it doesn't have to be associated with nades. It could just be like a kill streak. Like the nades are just part kill streaks themselves, and we could just have like a secret kill streak we don't mention, which is just like, I mean,
Right.
it
Well,
probably could just be the molly.
So that the only thing is like then that gets rid of the like having to like keep it in their inventory, which I feel like is cool. Like, all right, I'm just thinking from the Thanos perspective of collecting all the stones and they're in your inventory, so you're getting them but you're not using them because you're saving them. And because then that allows you to steal it, right? Because some I would pick up a smoke grenade pretty frequently, I feel.
I didn't even think of that.
Because then you'd kill a guy that got the smoke grenade, didn't throw it, and then you're like, "Fuck yeah, I got a smoke grenade, bitch!" Like I didn't even get a 4K. So that you just pick it up off the ground. But then if you're you have to collect the nades. You're like, "All right, I got the smoke. Let me get the HE, let me get the flash, let me get the molly, and I'll fucking nuke the server."
Yeah, that's the cool part too. It's not like completely separate from the kill streak. It's just about like being the sneaky guy who's just like
you're just gonna
robbing
collect them
everyone.
all.
That's a good point.
And then maybe we give them a cheat to like, okay, we know the flashbang's hard to get, so like get 3 knife kills without dying, and you can get a flashbang that way, or I don't know, or the molly maybe, or I don't fucking know.
We'll see. It's interesting to think about. Like that. I mean, like I was the one who made that plugin in Counter-Strike Go. Probably not going to do it unless like I don't know. It's probably just if I'm convinced, or I don't really know what I mean by being convinced. It's just I'm not into
Don't
making
worry
plugins
about
right
it.
now. But we'll see.
But
We'll see even if like something like that already exists or not.
But yeah, it's seeing what we can do to keep things fresh. It's been fun. Even just since getting the maps from CS:GO to CS2, we literally have to recreate them all by hand. But as we do it, it is fun to get our hands on the maps, and then if we feel like we can tweak some things, or tweak just a little thing here and there, kind of like on Milky Way, just kind of freshen it up, introduce some new angles, see how the meta changes. I think it's super fun. So so everyone stay tuned this Wednesday, or I guess that's today. We're releasing the remastered version of Op Eggplant done by Cyan Jimbo. This thing is badass. So go join the server, go enjoy the new version of Op Eggplant. It looks freaking amazing. Jimbo did an amazing job. And we'll see you in the server, and happy glove working, folks.
Happy glove working.
Happy glove work.
I don't know what that means. But get to glove working, glove workers.
Something you say
Go
at the end of every
work
podcast.
that glove.